Neighbors tell me that their street, they are not used to hearing the sound of gunshots on their street. Last night, they heard two. And one longtime resident tells us the house, which has been a rental property for the past 30 years, has a history of police visits. Now, police say the disturbance led to a physical fight on the front porch of the home. Two windows were broken and a vehicle damaged. One man was cut from the broken window and treated on scene. No other injuries were reported. Officers got a search warrant and arrested 4 adult men in the home. 2 18-year-olds, a 21-year-old, and a 42-year-old, all in jail on drug-related offenses, including possession of a controlled substance, being marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and interference of official acts. Police do say no firearm was found. Now, I asked police about their past calls to this home. They gave me the information for last year, for 2018. They were out at this address in June for a damage call and out on this block twice in May and July for disturbance calls. I'm live here in Davenport. James Sears, Local 4 News. Highly traveled roads are the worst because of the continual wear and tear on the pavement. I'm at the base of the Centennial Bridge coming into Rock Island at 3rd Avenue and 15th Street, where you can see potholes of many sizes in all directions. Now, the trucks were out today. I saw one in downtown Davenport moving quickly using that old fill and go method. Moline Public Works tell us they had 4 trucks out all day patching potholes. One crew came back 5 or 6 times for a refill. They'll be back out tomorrow, taking advantage of the nicer weather with a longer shift of 10 to 12 hours. Some people I spoke with today say this seems like the worst it's ever been.
Man, tragic. Everybody cars getting messed up. And I mean, the city got a whole lot of money. Why not fix these potholes, really?
I just lost a tire, bent my rim. I'm like, is the city going to pay for it if I get a flat?
Now, most potholes are filled within 48 hours. If you see one, you're asked to let your Public Works Department know by phone, by website, or app. And we'll have a link to all of those options on our website, arquatcities.com. I'm in Rock Island. James Sears, Local 4 News. There was a scare at Davenport Central High School this morning, an incident that police were called out to that turned out to be ultimately nothing. We posted that story on our website, and then we got a tip on the Arquat Cities app that a lockdown happened here at Lourdes Catholic School Tuesday, where parents showed up to find squad cars in the parking lot. Now, Our Lady of Lourdes pastor, Father Jason Croson, tells me the school got word that a parent who lost custody was on her way to pick up her child and was possibly armed and dangerous. Police were called, but Bettendorf Chief Keith Kimball told Local 4 the responding officers didn't know of a civil commitment order that the sheriff's office had to serve on that parent to get a mental health evaluation. Arrangements had been made in advance with a family member to get her child. Kimball says the parent didn't know this was happening and was cooperative the whole time. A gun was never displayed, nor a threat ever made. No charges have been filed. Now, the lockdown lasted 10 to 15 minutes. Father Croson tells me that an email went out to parents letting them know the situation. But at dismissal time, a lot of those parents were already in their cars, and he admits that they might not have known about it. So the school is working right now on a way to get a text messaging system to better notify parents. I'm here in Bettendorf. James Sears, Local 4 News. All of the city's speed cameras have been operational and watching the past 6 months, but the part of the system that issues citations for speeding and running red lights has been turned off. Starting tomorrow, that's all about to change. The city of Muscatine has been amending an ordinance to comply with an Iowa Supreme Court ruling on the automated traffic enforcement program and how those violations were processed. The city says last year, nearly 2,000 citations were issued for red light violations and almost 6,000 for speeding. At $75 a pop, that's easily over $500,000. Of course, most of the drivers I spoke with today don't like the cameras. One wants to see an actual police officer monitoring the intersections. Another calls it a money trap. I did find one guy, though, who's gotten a ticket or two, but doesn't hate the cameras.
Slow down. I mean, quit breaking the law. I mean, it's clearly marked that, hey, there's a traffic camera light coming up and we're going to take your picture, and that's what happens.
I just think if they would hire some more police officers, they wouldn't have to use the traffic cams. And they're pretty much just here to get money.
The city says the cameras are more about safety than making money. Again, starting tomorrow, they will begin issuing citations for speeding and running red lights. I'm in Muscatine. James Sears, Local 4 News. Rock Island County Sheriff Jerry Bustos confirmed that Jason Van Dyke is here in this building behind me, the Rock Island County Jail, 3 hours west of Chicago. Now, the decision to move Van Dyke here was made because of his high-profile case, not because of any safety concern or threat against him. That, according to the Cook County Sheriff's Office. Now here's Jason Van Dyke's new mugshot after being transferred to the Quad Cities. He was convicted by a Cook County jury on Friday of second-degree murder and 16 counts of aggravated battery, one for each time he shot Laquan McDonald back in 2014. The case outraged the Chicago community once the dash cam footage showed contradictions in the story given by officers that night. The judge immediately revoked Van Dyke's bail after his conviction, and he has been in custody ever since. Van Dyke is due back in court on October 31st in Cook County. His sentencing date has not yet been set. Sheriff Bustos tells us he believes Van Dyke will remain here at Rock Island County Jail until sentencing. In Rock Island, James Sears, Local 4 News. Tiffany, right now it is 12 degrees here at Earl Hansen in Rock Island, still well above the threshold for canceling school. That number is 30 below. You know, it takes a lot to get to that point, but one big factor to get the day off. The kids in the Rock Island Milan School District, they still had school today, even as other schools across the Quad Cities had delayed starts. Communications Director Holly Sparkman tells me they don't have to worry about transportation issues here in this district, as most students get dropped off or walk. Now, when it comes to a cold weather cancellation, though, officials defer to the National Weather Service.
If the National Weather Service puts out a winter weather warning for cold temperatures, yeah, we'll cancel school. And when it gets to the advisory stage, I think it's like 29 to 20 below, we're still determining what best to do as far as our families are concerned about how they get to school.
So as long as the streets are clear and people can get here, school will be open. Now, as for Wednesday, I asked her about those wind chills getting down to the -50s. They'll have a decision on that. Watch for it late tomorrow night. I'm live here in Rock Island. James Sears, Local 4 News.